There is a community living in the heart of New York City, one of the most modern cities on the planet. Yet they live as if the last 300 years never happened. The women shave their heads on the day they get married. The men have never once in their lives opened the internet. Children as young as 3 years old begin memorizing ancient texts for hours every single day. Exposed to no television, no social media, no music from the outside world. They speak a language that was nearly wiped off the face of the earth. And the most shocking part is this is not some remote village hidden in the mountains. This is happening right now, just a few miles from Times Square. This is the world of the Satmar Hasidic Jews, one of the strictest, most closed off, and most misunderstood religious communities in the entire Western world. And what happens inside their world is something most people will never get to see. Before we go any further, I'm genuinely curious. Where are you watching this from right now? Drop your country in the comments, because this channel reaches people from over 100 different countries, and I always find it fascinating to see how far these stories actually travel. So go ahead, let me know where you are, and let us get into this. To understand who the Satmar are, you have to go back to a small town in what is now modern-day Romania. Before the Second World War, a rabbi named Joel Teitelbaum led a deeply religious community in the town of Satu Mare. His followers were ultra-Orthodox, meaning they followed Jewish religious law to the absolute letter. Every detail of daily life, what you wore, what you ate, who you spoke to, how you prayed, all of it was governed by religious code. When the Nazis swept through Europe, the Jewish communities were nearly
that
annihilated.
assimilation is
Rabbi
the
Teitelbaum
greatest
himself
threat to
barely
Jewish survival.
survived.
In their eyes, the Holocaust did not happen because the Jewish people were too religious. It happened because they were not religious enough. And so the answer, in their belief, was to go deeper, stricter, more separated. And that is exactly what they did. Today, the Satmar community numbers over 150,000 people, making them one of the largest Hasidic groups in the world. They live primarily in Williamsburg, Brooklyn, and in a place called Kiryas Joel, a village about 60 miles north of Manhattan that is almost entirely populated by Satmar families. And when I say entirely, I mean it. The village has its own schools, its own courts, its own bus system, its own emergency services. It functions almost like a small country within America. Now, let us talk about daily life, because this is where things become truly fascinating. The men dress in black suits, white shirts, black hats, and long side curls called peyot. This is not fashion. Every single element of their clothing has religious significance. The women dress modestly at all times. Long sleeves, long skirts, high necklines, no exceptions. Married women shave their heads completely and wear wigs called shaitels in public. The reason is that a woman's natural hair is considered too intimate, too private to be seen by anyone other than God. Children begin their religious education almost as soon as they can speak. Boys attend yeshivas, where they study the Torah and the Talmud for 10 to 12 hours a day. Secular subjects like math, science, and English are either minimized or eliminated entirely. Many boys graduate without being able to read or write fluent English. Girls receive a slightly broader education, but their primary training is focused on running a household, raising children, and maintaining religious standards. The expectation is clear from the very beginning. Your life belongs to the community. Your purpose is service to God and family. Individual ambition, personal desire, self-expression, these concepts are not just discouraged, they are seen as spiritually dangerous.
Marriage is not a choice in the way most Americans understand it. Marriages are arranged, typically when the individuals are 18 or 19 years old. The families negotiate the match. The couple may meet once or twice, briefly, and always supervised before the wedding is finalized. Love is not expected to come before the marriage. It is expected to grow after. And divorce, while technically possible, carries enormous social consequences. A divorced person, especially a woman, is often stigmatized within the community. Their children may struggle to find good marriage matches. The pressure to stay, to endure, to conform is immense. Technology is perhaps the area where the Satmar rules are most extreme. Television is banned. The internet is banned. Smartphones are banned unless they are specially modified kosher phones that can only make calls. No apps, no browsers, no cameras. Social media does not exist in their world. The reasoning is straightforward. The outside world is filled with temptation, impurity, and ideas that contradict their way of life. To let it in, even a little, is to risk losing everything.
Now here is where the story becomes more complicated, because not everyone inside this world is at peace with it. Over the past decade, a growing number of people have left the Satmar and other ultra-Orthodox communities. They are called the OTD community, which stands for off the derech, meaning off the path. And their stories are heartbreaking. Many of them describe leaving as the most terrifying experience of their lives. When you leave, you do not just lose your religion, you lose your family. Your parents may declare you dead. Your siblings may be forbidden from speaking to you. Your children, if you have them, may be taken from you through community courts. You walk out with no secular education, no job skills, limited English, and an entire identity that no longer exists. There are organizations now that help people who leave. Footsteps is one of the most well-known. They provide education, career training, therapy, and simply a community for people who have lost theirs. But the transition is brutal. Imagine being 30 years old and learning for the first time how to use the internet, how to write a resume, how to exist in a world you were taught your entire life was evil. And yet, for the vast majority who stay, this life is not a prison. This is important to understand. Many Satmar members describe a deep sense of belonging, purpose, and spiritual fulfillment that they believe the outside world cannot offer. They look at mainstream American society and see loneliness, broken families, addiction, depression, and a lack of meaning. In their eyes, their strict way of life is not a burden. It is a gift.
This is the paradox that makes the Satmar so difficult to judge from the outside. By every modern Western standard, their rules seem extreme, oppressive even. But from the inside, many of them experience a quality of life, a depth of connection, and a clarity of purpose that most people in the modern world are desperately searching for. The question is not really whether their way is right or wrong. The question is something deeper. What are we willing to give up for belonging? What are we willing to sacrifice for meaning? And is total freedom actually freedom if it leaves you with nothing to hold on to? The Satmar have made their choice. They chose the walls. They chose the rules. They chose each other. And whether you agree with that choice or not, there is something undeniably powerful about a community that has survived persecution, genocide, and the overwhelming pressure of modernity and still remains exactly who they are.